I actually did not experience much racism at all growing up in Ohio. And I can't believe that people are still racist. That is so gay. What's crazy is that if you grew up amongst a lot of white folks as an Indian person, sometimes you were referred to by members of your own race as an almond. Some of you know where I'm going with this. Because you are brown on the outside and white on the inside. And I was like, all right, that was not offensive at the time. In the 80s, it was a long time ago. But I prefer the term coconut. Because we're hairy. Hey, Indians are hairy, man. The men, too. I'm quite liberal on immigration. I'm here. But it's not like I don't get the conservative argument. I totally get it. People jumping the border, getting all the same rights as Americans. I don't know if I'm down with that either. I understand that. It'd be like, sir, if I broke into your house. If I broke into your house, I'm like, I know I should not have done that. But now that I'm here, can I have my own room? I get the argument. It's just, I don't know that I agree with it because we're Americans and we can be dicks about immigration. On the border, we put a state called New Mexico. The dick move. Especially when this is old Mexico. We're taunting Mexicans to come over here. When the British divided India in parts, if they would have called Pakistan New India, my dad's side of the family might have stayed over there. Because we're Indian, we're just looking for a good deal. Same price, newer, we'll stay. I actually did not think I would become a full-time stand-up comedian. I went to school to be a doctor, because obviously. After I graduated, I went to go work at P&G. Procter & Gamble, P&G, the Peach, as I love to call it, the Peach. I worked there. The reason I use some slang is because a lot of people of color who worked at the Peach. I'm a brown guy. My manager was black. Well, he probably still is. I just haven't seen him in a while. That'd be weird. Calvin, what happened? I got promoted. The thing is, white people, you can loosen up. You know why? Because white people think when people of color get together, we're making fun of you. We are not. We're making fun of each other without your guilt, all right? That's what's going on. Because Calvin and I would bust on each other all the time. He was my boss. I remember one afternoon, I walked up to him. I'm like, hey, Calvin, are you free? He goes, since 1863, dog. It's a good joke. Take that to Hollywood, son. The thing is, brown people and black people were mixing a lot back then. Deepak Chopra became the most famous South Asian in America by appearing on a show hosted by Oprah Winfrey. They were a great duo. I wish they would have gotten married. She could have been Oprah Chopra. Calvin belonged to the, as it was called at the time, the African American Affinity Group at the Peach. And I belonged to the Asian one. And I almost didn't join it because they were rushing me to join the Asian Affinity Group at Procter & Gamble. And I said, well, I don't really know about that because y'all are mostly East Asian, I'm South Asian. But they're like, all right, well then don't join the group. That's your loss because the company is paying for us to take a 4-day, 3-night, all expenses paid trip to San Francisco. I'm like, I'm Asian. We're all the same, right? We say namaste, you say ni hao. We can combine them, namastao. I can head nod and bow at the same time. I'm in, let's go. All right, I told my white friend, I go, look, we're doing all this stuff. He goes, I don't think that's fair, though. I don't think that's fair. How come you guys get these, all expenses paid trips to go to the coast and all this stuff? You get to meet the CEO. You put all the Latinos in the room at the same time, all the blacks in the room at the same time, all the browns in the room at the same time. He's going on and on. He goes, I can't put a bunch of white people in the same room at the same time. I go, yeah, you can. It's called a board meeting. Chill out, white people. Still your country, all right? Chill out. It's okay. Thing is, they always tell you in LA, you need to make yourself unique. You need to find what makes you, you. Get tired of hearing that out here. What makes you unique? That's hard to find. Out of the 100 billion people who have ever lived on Earth, the 100 billion people who have ever lived on Earth, what could you do that no one else has done? Well, mine's a little weird. I'm the only person to perform stand-up comedy on all 7 continents. Thanks. It's a little random. I'm gonna tell you how I did it. North America was easy. I'm doing it again right now. Asia was easy because of that white guy who told me to go back to India. That was the gift that keeps on giving. And India was really cool, man. It was a really, really cool thing. I went over and did a tour called Make Chai Not War. And I'm Hindu. One of my best friends, Azhar Usman, is Muslim. And we were thinking, you know what, we agree on so much, right? We watch the same movies, we listen to the same music, we laugh at the same jokes, we agree on everything except for the final destination of our souls. But we're like, you know what, maybe what we could do for Hindus and Muslims, since there's so much conflict, we'll start a comedy tour. And we're like, if Hindus and Muslims can laugh together, maybe they can live together, and you see what a great job we did with that. Problem solved. The US government, you may or may not know this, the State Department actually has a program where they send American entertainers overseas to endear America to countries while we bomb their neighbors. Funny because it's true. And so the thing is, they'll send over jazz singers and comedians and artists, and it is really a cool thing. So the US State Department was like, get one more comedian. We got Hari Kondabolu out of New York, and so it came to pass. The US government sent 3 comedians to India. And they brought us back, by the way, because this was during Obama. Trump would have just left us there, I think. Got rid of 3 of them. These were big shows. We did 7 shows in 7 cities. It was crazy. We had an average attendance of about 1,500 to 2,000 Indians in these audiences. It was crazy. About 2,000 Indians. Well, although India is now the world's most populous country, so 1,500 Indians is like 300 Americans. Which also checks out weight-wise. We landed at the Bombay airport. Well, okay, let me canvass this for a second because we got quite a few people who may have been to India. Do you say Bombay or Mumbai? Round of applause if you say Bombay. Round of applause if you say Mumbai. Oh, okay, we got a younger crowd. That's what that means right there, all right? I remember I ate at a restaurant over in that city, and it had a sign. And the sign at this restaurant over there read, Mumbai is the location, Bombay is the emotion. Ooh, I like that. I'll roll with that. I like that, right? So we landed at the BOM airport. We go in, and there's so many people there, you never quite get used to it. There's a labor surplus because of the sheer number of humans. We land, we go in, and 8 people checked our passport. I don't even think 6 of them worked there. Some of them didn't have a stamp or a stand. It's like, passport de do, passport de do, passport de do. 8 times in a row. I'm like, that guy, I think he's an Uber driver. What is he doing with my passport? So we get in the car, and actually we find out very quickly that he's a Hindu driver. And you can tell that he's Hindu because he has a Ganpati on his dashboard. Not everybody's gonna know what a Ganpati is. A gun? No, that's Texas. A gun... Pati is a little statue of Lord Ganesh, one of our gods. And Lord Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. And yet the traffic. Is he asleep? What's happening?